When you go to meet somebody, to talk to somebody about a business deal or make a negotiation or try to sell something or show your product or whatever, a lot of times you go to talk to somebody you do not like. Now, this is not him being negative, this is you being negative. Now, it's very important to do this. Your mind is very strong, your body language is very strong, and your body does and shows more than you can possibly imagine, and people can feel you. If I don't like you, okay, and I'm thinking to myself, this guy's a fat fuck, or I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, this guy's stinky, he's dirty, whatever. You will see it in my facial expression, hear it in my tone, see it in my body language, get it from my brain waves. You will generally know and feel something is wrong, that you don't like me or I don't like you. The trick is, when you're talking to somebody you don't like, is to focus on something you do like. So if he's wearing a nice tie, I would sit there and smile and look at his tie. I'm like, oh shit, this guy's got a nice tie on. And then I already smiled just because I just pictured the blue tie, by the way, because I'm a very visionary person. So as you're looking at the blue tie and you're smiling at him, he's like, what is this guy smiling about? I'm like, I really like your tie, the compliment I told you about. And he knows it's genuine. And he will smile too. And he will find ways to like you. So in general, don't prejudge. Try to focus on what you like about people, because they will feel it. They will feel discomfort and they will feel the dislike. And you'll be wondering why you didn't get the sale, or you didn't get that meeting, or you didn't get that job offer, or you didn't get that product out there, or grant, or loan, or whatever you want to call it. So a lot of people go get a product and get it out there because it's cool or whatever. You have to get a niche market. A niche market is something where, okay, for example, when I talked to you about my nightclub, no one did emo nights. I was the first and only person that did emo nights. I made a shitload of money. It was a niche, it was a category of people. Okay, they came in, they were dressed like emos and they were all negative and whatever. He agrees it was more of a fashion. It wasn't really, they didn't commit suicide in the club or anything. It was just a dress fashion and a music fashion. And I called them emo nights because it was funny. It was more goth sort of thing. But anyway, it was a niche. The same thing with a lot of things you can find. Find your niche and work it, and forget about the rest of the people. If 18% of the people you follow your niche, focus on those 18% that will be more passionate about it and buy, rather than everybody else. It's no secret, when I had my club, I used to do live rock nights with bands. It was a niche, because I was getting the underground bands and the semi-bands and everything. I was making a lot of money with that because no other clubs around were doing it. I had my stage with my bands and everything, and people would come in to see them, and their friends would come to see them, and it was successful. I was working my niche. You should do the same thing. Now, you need to have income to live on. This sounds obvious. Income to live on? Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. Because if you're going to risk, if you're going to create, if you're going to do whatever you're going to do, you have to make sure you get money coming in. You have to have money coming in so you can do whatever you're going to do and be safe. Now, this probably sounds obvious, but you just have to do it. Now, at the end of this presentation, pretty soon actually, I'm going to start showing you how you can make money. Like $2,000-3,000 a month, just so you know you're making $2,000-3,000 a month, so you can go to higher levels after and become, do what you gotta do. But even if your goal is not money, it's, I don't know, go live in a cave and give to the poor, or I don't know, it could be anything. You still need to be making money so you can be able to do that. Okay, and that's what we're gonna do at the end of this presentation. Another nice piece of advice is work for knowledge. And a lot of people will say, don't work for free. And at times I agree, at times I disagree. It doesn't really matter. Now I don't work for free. But working for knowledge means when you do work, don't think of your paycheck. Think about what you're learning. Think about what this is giving you. Remember the McDonald's example, the restaurant example. If you're working at a shitty job, see what you're learning from the shitty job. Even if everything is shit and your boss is screaming at you every day, you're learning to be able to face the screams. You're learning how people act. Work for knowledge. Learn. Keep an open mind, yeah? Become curious. Become curious like a cat. You know that saying, curiosity killed the cat? You're not a cat. Become curious. Kids are curious. Why do kids learn so fast? And go, oh my God, he's learned so fast. It's because they're curious. They keep experimenting. They ask. As they grow older, they keep on asking the same questions. They become curious. They go over there. They look, what is this? It's electricity in there. Don't touch it. They'll touch it. They get electric shock. They'll learn there's an electric shock. But anyway, they become curious. They ask questions. Be a kid. Be a cat. Become curious. Go see. Look at it. Look at cats. They go. They move it a little bit. They see what they do. They stand back. They go back closer. They move a little more to the right. You know? They see it jump. They're like, wow, what was going on here? You know? Do the same. Be curious. Learn. Ask questions. You know? Anything. Just learn. You know? It was Tai Lopez. He was saying that Elon Musk, he did like a selfie or Snapchat. Was it him? With himself. It was Warren Buffett, I think. And he was doing like a selfie thing. They took like a picture. And then I think he followed him and found time. Like, hey, why did you just do that? What is this? How does it work? I don't know who it was, but I remember it was a Tai Lopez example. Great, by the way. You should follow Tai Lopez. But yeah, be curious. You know? Oh, don't forget win-win, yeah? When you negotiate a deal, when you're selling something, when you're doing business, it has to be a win-win situation. Remember, the person you're doing a deal with has to win the same as you win. It cannot be one-sided just because you saw the idea or whatever, or don't be stingy with this. Invest in the other person. Remember that guy I told you about. He was finding me so many people for my recruitment for Iraq. I didn't just give him money. I was giving him money. I invested in him. I opened up a company and made him a partner. Because now I'm making less, but I have constant people coming in. You know, and that was a win-win situation. Plus he does construction. So now we're doing the construction part of the company and I'm winning from him. So make sure in business has to be a win-win situation. If I do something for you, you have to do something for me and vice versa. You get that reputation, people will answer their phone at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, you have to make sure you know what you're doing, but you have to also make sure you know what you're not doing. So you can learn, as I said, from bad experiences from people, and you can learn from historical figures, but you can learn from what goes wrong, you know, what not to do. For example, if I see somebody walk to the edge of a cliff and slip and fall down, I don't need to go do the same thing and fall. You know, if I see somebody eat a certain fruit and start foaming from his mouth, getting into spasms and dying, I don't need to try the same fruit to see if it works for me. You know, you can learn what not to do as well. You don't, yeah? Another important thing is to build validation. You have to become the expert in your field and the go-to guy for something. So when I was doing video production and video directing, I was the go-to guy for two major things, yeah? One was people. I could have 100 people the next day playing in the music video. Models, non-known people, dancers, whatever. I was the go-to guy. Whenever there was a production with a lot of people, we need Paul, we have to hire him. Yeah? I was getting paid a shitload of money for doing nothing. I was adding services to it by going to the video clip and helping so I can network, but I was making like what, 500 to 700 euros just to bring people and to do production management a little bit, a day. So I was the go-to guy. I'm also, as a director, I was the go-to guy for creativeness, for scenarios. So whenever they needed a scenario done, they would say, okay, Paul is the person for the scenario. He's a bit above average director, not so good of a director. He has some other guy with him that usually does the directing. But for creativeness, it's Paul, plus the people, and that was my niche. I was the go-to guy. When my friends want sales or business advice, I am the go-to guy for advice. They're like, oh man, you should ask Paul about that. So you have to find out what you're really good at and build that strength and validate yourself and become the go-to guy for that. If you're a good mechanic, be the go-to guy for becoming a mechanic. Yeah? Become an expert in your field. Opportunity cost. Be aware of opportunity cost. I want to make a website. I can make websites myself, as I told you before. I know how to do websites. I know how to use WordPress. It will take me, let's say, 2-3 weeks to make a website. I'll save a few thousand. euros, yeah? I would rather pay somebody 2,000 euros to make me a website or pay half, 1,000 euros to pay them a website, to make the website, and I'll do the other half, because my opportunity cost for those 2-3 weeks, I could be doing something else in business and lose another opportunity. Does that make sense? I could be writing my book, I could be fixing something else, I could be doing this seminar like I am to you. I said it before, I have a website developer working my site right now as we speak. I wouldn't be doing this, I'd be doing that. I'd save 1,000, lose time, which is you lose more money after. Competition. Don't compete. Forget your competition. I know it sounds weird. I don't care what my competition is doing because I want to dominate my market. I'm too busy focusing on what I'm doing to worry about what he's doing over there. I'm not going to compete against other people doing what I'm doing. Yeah? I'm going to dominate my market, make sure what I'm doing and not waste time on them. I don't want to hear what other people, I don't care about insider information. If I see something good and innovative, my question is, why didn't we think of it? And then my question is, how do we make it better? It's not let's copy. I don't care what the other person is doing. You have to be focused. You have to dominate your sector. Apple does not compete. Apple dominates. Large companies dominate. They're so high that you don't even think about competing with them. And that's the attitude you need in business. Both not to waste time and to crush everyone underneath you so they don't even think twice about trying to compete with you. Be aggressive. I said this before. Be an animal. When a lion wants to eat, it's not going to go find a knife and fork. It's going to take what it wants and eat the shit out of that sheep. Yeah? Do the same thing. Be aggressive. Yeah? Get what you want. You want it, you're hungry, get passionate, obsessed, attack, eat. Be an animal in business. Be aggressive. Shut up and listen, then speak and lead. What I mean by that is, know where to listen, sit and learn what the other guy is saying, yeah, because you need to learn, but do not fall in the trap of be quiet like we're conditioned as kids, because public speakers make a shitload of money. You have to sell your product, do not become shy. So you have to know when to shut up, and you have to know when you speak up, and obviously lead, become a leader. And just to put it in perspective one more time for you. When we're kids and we're shouting, we want something, we're always told, be quiet, be patient, don't shout, speak in a low voice. Yeah? Why? Get up, speak out, and lead and become the leader. Yeah? Now, when someone's speaking, listen because you're learning. You have to know when to balance, when to do the two. Ask questions and don't give opinions. I could be sitting here talking and giving this seminar, and I'll be asked questions which I'm more happy to answer. But when people start giving me opinions when they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, that's where they're just losing track and they're not going to learn what I'm telling them. Because, as I said before, you're talking to somebody that's rich, that has millions, yeah? And is about to give you advice. And you start saying, well, that wouldn't work for me, that wasn't going to work for that, but this is that, but that is that, but, oh my God. The guy's going to be like, you know what, you're right. Give me a break. And you walk away, yeah, feeling all justified. I have an excuse why I'm not rich. And the other guy's thinking, they'll never learn. Because you won the battle, but you lost the war. You didn't get the information you could have got because you were giving opinions. Now, if you were asking questions, maybe he would have answered your questions and you'd know what to do. You have to know when to jump ship. Now, I'm not saying give up, but sometimes you just have to jump ship. Now, when you jump ship, it's usually when you have done something wrong. For example, I had a guy I knew, a friend of mine, which he was in the timeshare business. Now, as he was in the timeshare business, timesharing obviously died out from the internet and other stuff. Now, at some point, he made another product, a spin-off, as a travel package, and it sold okay for a while. So he had the red dot, which was working great. Suddenly, it fell. So he made a black dot, which worked okay, but then just wouldn't let go. He wouldn't innovate and go to new products. And as persistent as he was, as hard as he tried, inevitably the company failed, it closed, and that was it. What he had to do was jump ship. Now, I'm not saying give up. He should have came out with a new product. He should have kept the office and the sales force and sold another product that sold. That product wasn't selling. He couldn't make a spin-off and fix it to make it into another one. You have a sales team. You have a telemarketing team. You have a company. Get another product. Create another product. Do something. That's where you have to jump ship. He didn't know when to jump ship or let go. A lot of people will get emotionally attached to our ideas or to our inventions or to our product. And that's what kills us. You should not. You should get attached and emotionally attached to your end goal, not your product and the way to get to your end goal. Otherwise, you will inevitably either fail and sink with your ship, or you will have to jump either way. So basically, yeah, that's it for mindset pretty much. I hope you all remember all this, and this is to be used in business. Now, all this sounds great, but what are you gonna do to make money? You might not have money right now, or you might not be making enough money to start your project, or you might not be making enough money to buy those suits or do this mindset or do your, basically you need to make money, yeah? Because even if I tell you there's no excuses, you always have to have that excuse. You need money to make money, okay. You don't need to have money to make money, and I'll prove that to you, but inevitably you need money to live, to be able to do what you're gonna do. So I'm gonna give you a few ways on how to do that from scratch. Now, I'm not gonna give you all the ways that I have noted down. I will give you a fair share and elaborate on them, and then you can read my book, Success IAO, to get more ideas. And if you're a member on our members section, it's called Success HQ, you will get some free ideas and free action plans as time goes by. But I'm gonna give you more than enough to set you off. You can start making money tomorrow.